Miller,
No.
Bud. What do you want?
No, but it's, like I said, it's an awesome experience. If you ever get a chance, I would highly suggest you go. Like I said, every time I go to, because my aunt used to live there, every time we went to St. Louis, that was one stop that we had to make was go to the St. Louis Arch. Mm-hmm. And I've got a bunch of pictures of it.
Wow.
I might actually show you guys. I might have some pictures of the actual tram car.
I've been up in, what is it called? The thing in Seattle. The spaceship thing. Grey's Anatomy. That little tall archy. That's not an arch. It's like a spaceship.
Yeah,
the
go
needle.
like this.
The needle. That's what it is. Yeah, the needle. I've been up in that a couple times, and I mean, it was cool, like, to a degree, but, like, you didn't move, like, vertically or horizontally. You moved up, but that was it. So, like, you could see, like, the city get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
But, like, you're in the same spot, and, like, you just walked around in, like, a dish where there was, like, a bar up there and some food, and that was it. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of overrated. But it was cool, but, no, I think the St. Louis Arch would be even, like, a better view.
Oh, it's a fantastic view. Like I said, I have some pictures I'll show you guys later. I might post them on the Topic Talks page, but just the view, I mean, there's a baseball stadium you can see. You know, it looks like, you know, super small. You can see the entire thing. You can just see for miles. It's fantastic. And like I said, they got a museum. And actually, a fun fact, so how they built this thing is they literally built it in giant triangles. Around, and they literally stacked them on top of each other. And they had a crane that they attached a track to the side of this. So this crane literally just drove up the side of the arch, and it would lift pieces off the ground and put them in place. And that's when they would they would attach it and put in rebar and concrete. And
You know, I feel like we don't build cool stuff like that anymore.
not really.
Like,
We build iPhones.
yeah, there you go.
That's what we're all about now.
The cool part about it was when they got to the top, because they made both sides. They literally had two cranes working on each side, and they were supposed to meet in the middle. When they got to the middle, that wasn't quite big enough for the last piece, so they had to jack it apart to fit that last piece in there. So
the engineer miscalculated.
Nah,
Gravity.
not by too much. But like I said, it was enough where they had to jack it apart just a little bit to fit that piece in. But that's why they built it the way that they did, because each piece is leaning on itself, like leaning on the other one.
Oh. So
that's why I said it would never fall, is because it's essentially leaning on the other side.
Two pieces leaning against each other.
Right. And because they're attached, it won't fall. But it's awesome it's an awesome view. And if you're actually afraid of heights, I would close your eyes when you're in the tram, because, like I said, there's a whole bunch of windows going up, and then there's spots where you can't see because they've got the evacuation spots where it's like they got some ladders, but then they've also got some like grates that you walk across, so like pathways almost. But it's an awesome view if you ever get a chance. Another place I want to go is I want to go to like Washington D.C. and see some of the stuff there.
Yeah.
Like you've got the what's it called? Where they have the changing of the guard. It's the
I know what you're talking about. The the fallen soldier.
The tomb of the unknown soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to see that because in 8th grade, my entire class took a field trip to Washington D.C. and I couldn't go.
Oh, me too.
And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, I missed that one.
But
ours got canceled.
Ours didn't get canceled.
Because ours was when 9/11 happened.
Oh, really?
So they're like, yeah, we're going to cancel the trip this year just in case.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wait a minute.
I also, in middle school, I had the opportunity to go to Europe, and I didn't do that either.
They let you go to Europe?
Yeah, it was during the summer.
They always have trips.
What it was is there was one teacher that would take a bunch of parents and a bunch of his students to Europe and give almost like a personal tour through all these different things. Like there was you had the spot where you could stand on both sides of the world at once. Because there's one spot that's literally there's a crack that cuts the world in half.
My parents wouldn't trust me to go to Europe. There's no way.
But no, I wanted to go, but I didn't want to go without a parent And my grandma's like, I will pay for you to go, but I can't pay for like both of us to go because it was a super expensive trip.
Oh no,
And-
I'd want to go without a parent.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, we lost your kid. We don't know where he's at.
Right.
I mean, hopefully I'll make it over to Switzerland because I think I told you this. I have dual citizenship in Switzerland.
I didn't know that.
When'd you
Yeah,
get that?
I got that when I was like 10 because my
Oh.
dad's 100% Switzerland.
Was he really?
Yeah, so I got
He's
50%
Swiss.
of it. Swiss, yeah. I always say Swiss, but I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Like Swiss is for some other country, but
No, you're good.
yeah,
He's 100% Switzerland.
yeah,
It just sounds weird.
Yeah.
that's true. But yeah, I gotta make it over there.
So were you born here or born there?
I was born here. Yeah, I was born in Grand Blanc. My dad was actually born here, but his parents were 100% Swiss. So like, then it went to him, and now it's on me. So I'm,
Well, if he had dual citizenship, then you could get dual citizenship
So-
because he's technically a citizen of both countries.
oh, so then.
So
my
does he got
kids-
property back there?
I have no clue. I really don't even know our family that's over there, but hopefully we'll get in contact with them. That'd be cool.
My buddy his mom is from England,
Mhm.
and she's not a citizen. She's got a driver's license and got a green card and everything, and she married an American citizen. But she likes she likes England enough. That's her country, but she lives here because that's where her family is, and like her sons and her husband and all that. And I guess because both of her kids are graduated now, I guess they've talked about moving to England. But she's, and so when it comes around to election time, she can't vote. But she's also kind of like, this isn't my country. This is your country. It's your decision. You know what I mean?
I always say, if the country's screwed up enough, I'm just going to Switzerland. Like if we're in a lot of trouble, I'm gone. See you guys. I'm gonna start my life over there.
No, there's a lot of really cool places, at least around the U.S. to go. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of really cool places around the world. There's a place that I used to go to because my aunt, it was my grandma's sister, used to live in a place called Lidditz, Pennsylvania. And it's really cool because they have a chocolate factory there.
Ooh.
And it's Wilbur's chocolate.
Okay.
And in my opinion, it's better than Hershey's.
Huh.
But it's just a small time little shop. But the cool part about it is you go in the shop and you can see them making the kisses, they call them Wilbur buds. The Wilbur buds, you see some of the equipment they make the chocolate with. You can actually see some of the process. If you go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, you go on a little ride and that's it.
Wow.
Like that's all it is. You go in and there's a little theme ride and
That's dumb.
that's pretty much it. We're
See, I've always imagined my Willy Wonka chocolate experience. Like if I'm going to a chocolate factory, it's got to be like the Willy Wonka movie.
Hershey should do that.
They
got
should.
enough money. They could.
Right.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
chocolate river.
Yeah, I hope absolutely.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd die.
Turn into like a theme park.
Just not. Wait. Which one are we talking about? The Johnny
first
Depp
one.
version or the
No,
first
no,
one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
First one's the best. It's,
Yes,
not
it
even,
was.
it's not even close.
No. And see, that was a movie when they first told me that they were coming out with a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I kind of got excited because I'm like, oh, cool! It'll be from Charlie's perspective, and instead of Willy Wonka. No, it was just Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. And it was
Sucked.
Yeah, it was not that good.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like how all the Oompa Loompas looked the same.
Right? Yeah. No. In the original, they were they looked the same, but they were
They were different.
a little bit different
They had
heights.
little attributes.
Right.
I think they got cheap because they're like, you know what?
They did. It was the same guy.
we can't hire 280 little people.
I don't even
We'll just hire one little guy and
I don't even think that they
copy and
hired that
paste them.
many. I think they hired 50 for the first movie.
Oh wow! And they just put them in different places to make it look different. I mean, they weren't really the main focus of the movie either. I mean,
Right? No, it was
they're all over the place, dude. Watch it
Yeah.
again. You see them in the back mining chocolate.
Oh yeah.
right. But you think about it. Every scene that they have, they could literally. I mean, they could have even had 4 or 5 different guys.
Yeah.
It's just how many are in a scene at one time.
You gotta count.
Like if there's 5 in a scene, and they look about like the same 5 guys, it could have been 10 guys.
Just rotating.
Just every scene, they would be doing something different in the background.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, movies are deceiving.
They are. There's so many cool things that they have.
Well, and it's kind of like this is why I don't like TMZ is because back when they had the movie A Dog's Purpose and they had that whole thing about The German Shepherd was abused and forced into the water and all that, and they had supposedly had a video of it.
No.
Mhm.
Okay, so there was a controversy earlier in the year about this movie called The Dog's Purpose, where it had a whole bunch of different. It was pretty much like a dog was getting reincarnated into different breeds.
Okay.
I mean, he was looking for his
Like
purpose.
a Buddhist, right? A Buddhist dog. Or Hindu?
I guess. I don't know.
Hindu. Yeah, Hindu.
Hindus.
I don't know.
Hindus believe that.
Yeah.
Either way.
If you're good, you come back as like a...
A cow.
Yeah, because the cow's like the most sacred.
Yeah, that's how they treat them.
Anyway.
Like the
Like you can't touch the cow.
So,
But unless if you come to America and you're a cow, you're screwed.
That's true.
no. So the
Unless if you're a Wisconsin cow, you're just getting milked all day. Then you hit the Buddhist, the Hindu jackpot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember what I was trying to say. Come on, guys.
Talking about cows'
Dog.
nipples.
No,
Getting
I was
milked.
not.
Dog's Purpose, TMZ.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Video.
So they said that there was a video released of this German Shepherd being abused, and what it showed was what looked like the trainer taking the German Shepherd and dipping his legs into the water because for some reason he didn't want to jump into the water,
Okay.
and dipped his back feet in, and then they dipped his butt in, and then that was it, and then it jumped to a scene of something in the water. You couldn't even tell what it is, whether it was a dog or something. And you see kind of something moving in the water.
So what was the controversy?
Because they said it was being abused because it didn't want to jump into the water, and they were
dude.
making. But it was it wasn't even a good edit. It was literally cut from this one to this one. You couldn't really tell what it was, and they apparently what had happened was that dog did the same scene 3 or 4 times earlier in the day, on a different side of the pool, because it was a pool with almost like boat motors in it to give it a raging water look. And this dog had done this scene 3 or 4 times from a different side of the pool.
There's no controversy.
I know.
People are just
And they had
complaining.
brought the dog for camera purposes. They brought the dog to the other side of the pool, and for some reason he didn't want to jump into that side, because I guess he was used to the other side. Because German Shepherds are very, very, very
I got a story for you. I used to have a pit bull. This was a long time ago.
right.
And we're hanging out at my buddy's apartment, and it's a baby pit.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend's like, "Does your dog know how to swim?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Does my dog know? I mean, dude, all dogs know how to swim. It's naturally, they're born with it." He's like, "No, you got to teach the dog how to swim." I'm like, "No, you don't."
Yeah, you do.
Well, listen. I'm like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Yeah, you do." I'm like, "Oh, you want to bet?" So I grab my dog and I throw my dog in the pool, and literally the dog just sinks straight to the bottom of the pool. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I dive in there, grab the dog so it doesn't drown, and I'm like, "You're right. You gotta teach the dog how to swim." Who would have thought, dude?
I knew that. We took my German Shepherd Charlie into. We took him to the beach, and he doesn't he liked to. So we bought him a big water bowl. It had the big tank on the back, and when he was younger, he liked to paw in it and get the water everywhere. And so we broke him of that habit, and we have a little tiny plastic pool that we put outside, and he'll lay in that. He'll splash around a little bit, but you go to give him a bath, and no, it's not happening. But we took him to the beach, and how we taught him to swim is it's actually a horse toy. We bought him this horse toy. It's just it's called the Jolly Ball. It's a ball, and it's got a little, almost like a handle on the top of it, and you can throw it, and he'll grab it and bring it back to you. It's just he'll even pick it up and just run around the yard with it. It's one of his favorite toys. We took it to the beach and we threw it into the water, and he chased after it, and we kept throwing it deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's kind of funny to watch him because his back legs don't go as fast as his front legs, so his butt starts sinking down, and you just see him going like this in the water. But eventually he was starting to get the doggy paddle down the more that we had him back and forth, and then we give him a break and he'd get tired and lay down. But that's what we did is we'd take him we'd throw the ball a little bit into the water at a time. Mm-hmm. And then once he was used to the water, my girlfriend was on a pool floaty, and she had him on a really long leash. And what she would do is we would throw the ball to one end, and he would go flying and pull her to the one end of the water. We'd have somebody down there, and they'd throw the ball back, and he'd go flying down to the other end. And this was along the beach.
Oh.
So we'd be throwing the ball along the beach, and he'd be pulling her along in the water.
No, not my dog, dude. This thing, I threw it in the pool, and I think it got like some kind of shock or something.
It might have gotten water up its nose.
No, the thing